almost there. Got the food bag packed up. I remembered to take some magnesium citrate just in case. But I'm praying we're not gonna need that. Putting it out in the universe, it's gonna be okay. And then, suitcase, computer, water, ostomy supplies, my plus other stuff. Travel bag, snacks, for a 5-day trip. This is just, well, for me and for Cassie, but Cassie has her own suitcase and clear backpack too. We are on our way. There's my girl. She's driving again. Woo! Are you excited?
Yeah.
Ready to be there? On the other side. All right. It's still raining. It was supposed to end at 1, and then I saw something about it may rain till 3. So yeah, hopefully it's going to end soon, but we shall see. Safe travels for us. Look at that. #1 Packer fan. Wisconsinite here in Illinois. Cute little train stop station. Look at the dark clouds. They're just passing by the top of that building. How'd you like to be up there and just see the clouds go by? All right, we're in our room. To the right, we have this closet that has some pretty neat shelves in there and drawers. And hangers to hang, an ironing board, an iron. So that's nice. Dun dun dun. And then we have a cute little vanity. I should do what Cassie did. Oh, hi. A little bench. We've got our stuff in here. And then obviously a little chair desk area. TV, fridge, more drawers, some coffee and tea. And they have it set to Cassie temperature. Yeah, she must have done that, beforehand. Let them know. Yeah, 60. 60's good. And we have construction out the hotel window. I hope that we won't be hearing anything, but at least the rain stopped before we had to walk up here, so that was nice. The bed. And there's Miss Cassie. Woo! And a cute little chair. Oh, and then the bathroom. I forgot. We have a nice full-length mirror. Oh, another mirror. I can do another heart. Oh, you can't see that. And the bathroom, of course, most important. Very nice. I guess hotels have taken to having dispensers now instead of little individual soaps and things. So, another mirror. I can do another heart. Oh, you can't see me though. It's blocking from the fluorescence. Dun, dun, dun. And then they folded the towels very cutely. And then Cassie's excited. We have a shower type, like a rain shower head. Very nice. So we carried, as you saw, our basic suitcases and things here. But I left the food in the car. There was too much stuff for us to carry. We had to walk about 2 blocks-ish. That was a good walk with all that weight. That was my workout for the day. So now we're going to go back to the car and grab all our food snacks and bring that back. It was good we found parking. Cassie had one lot in mind, and we got there, and then we returned. There was a lot of stop and go traffic. It's after work time, so we had rush hour on the expressway and even off on the city streets. And we get to the one parking lot, and it's like, oh, it's like a U.S. Postal parking ramp, but they moved the post office, but they still have this parking ramp. But when we got there, it was like the street we were on, it was U.S. Postal customers only. You had to have a certain card to get in. The other entrance that the public could use was on this other street. Well, that street's closed off right now for Lollapalooza, so it's like we don't have access to that. And there was another parking lot, parking structure on the other side of the street. But that was like the intersection we had just got through, where people were, as the lights were turning and whatever, there's people in the middle of the roads. In fact, we had to even go around the car to get to our side of the street. And so it was like, okay, I'm like, well, let's get in line, let's do it. But as we were ready to go, I saw an entrance right there. I'm like, oh, wait, what's that? And Cassie read it. It was like, well, it looks like an entrance. Pull up, the gate's gonna open. And so she did, and it did. I was like, oh. After I asked all the angels, I'm like, hey, Dad, help us find good parking, because he's always very good at that. And all our angels and all that, and boom, right there was the entrance. We pulled in, plenty of parking, because we saw some people leaving, and we're like, is the lot too full? Because are all those other cars that we saw, all backed up? I'm like, are they all going to this lot? And so I was like, will there be any room left? But there's plenty of parking, so we made it just fine and everything, so yay. the stay so far is the journey, I should say, is starting off well. So that's kind of what I thought when I was looking at this area. There's wheels on the bottom of this desk thing, so we can move this either sideways or we could move it out forward. So, wow. And then the desk person gave us dining recommendation sheet and all that, so that was very nice because I asked if there was breakfast, complimentary breakfast here, and they said nope, it's like $25. So it's kind of like, all right, well, it's very nice we have options. Our hotel for the next 5 days. All right, we parked at that orange building up there, so it's a good block or two walk from the hotel. Not bad, except for you dragging and carrying heavy suitcase and bags and stuff. That was an extra walk, extra workout with some extra weight. We drove past these things. They're like pods. They're almost like motorhomes or something. They're all gray. They've got smokestacks. They're one on top of the other. I'm like, are they homes? Is it like a school that each classroom? There's no windows. So, and you know, next to it is this other big brown building. I don't see a name on it. So as far as if this is testing for stuff or something, I don't know, I'll have to look it up. But I find it interesting.
And then across the street,
Cassie just found us on Google Maps, and she found what that could be. So what'd you say that is?
well, the building next to it is a server farm.
Yeah.
So it's probably related in some way. I don't know exactly what.
It makes sense because those would probably be cooling, like cooling fans or whatever. Why they would have all the stuff on top?
I don't know.
Nice. Here we are. We made our mile walk and we found where we need to go. Here we are, Lollapalooza, the main gate. What a beautiful fountain. It's so refreshing on this hot day. Here's Dessert Island, so that's how that works. All little booths right next to each other. Pretty neat. Italian ice. Oh, and then we're near this statue here. That's Abraham Lincoln, yeah. Abraham Lincoln. And then back there is the stage that we're going to go find later. Alright, I wanted something to drink. I wanted liquid IV with water. I get liquid death. I'm like, really? They give me a packet of liquid IV. So I'm like, all right, fine. Cassie nicely held it. I poured it in. I don't know how it's going to shake out, how this is going to go, but we'll see. Good enough. It's electrolytes. I'm already hot and sweaty. I need something while we're walking around. So anyways, onward. So pretty unbelievable. Those are the merch tent. Actually, that's the merch tent. Merch tent, some exclusive stuff for here. And the line zigzags back and forth and snakes around and whatever, and the end of the line is over here. Unbelievable. So nice. We're at the Liquid IV hydration station and they have a fan that's misting. Oh, the skyline. There you go. Cassie found the Imagine Your Korea booth. The cute little tiger. Well, for the moment we are at the stage we need to be at. Unfortunately, it rained all yesterday, and that, so you see the puddles in there. It's all wet all over the grounds. So we're on the sound barricade. There's some metal parts to the barricade, so we are going to sit here for a bit. Otherwise, we're walking through lots of mud. all just got back from day one Lollapalooza. I knew it was a little muddy there, but the stage that we were at, it was an experience. Came home, looked at the shoes. That's one shoe. And here's the other side. I actually just knocked off a whole hunk of mud right there. But, and my shoelace is all crunchy. So, now I need to clean those. Oh, I also have mud on, well, not bad. I think just one leg. Oh, fun. As I said, day one Lollapalooza done. Goodness gracious. I'm glad I brought my chocolate chip bread dinner. That was pretty much breakfast too. I had a piece of bread and some strawberries and some potato chips. And then we got in the gate and I got a liquid IV. They were nicely handing out liquid IV packs, the dry packs. On our way there were people in the streets handing out 2 packs each to people. So it was like, whoop, we got 4 packs of that, which is awesome. Liquid IV is one of the sponsors of the place. So they had liquid IV hydration stations. So I did take some footage of, at some of them, they had some really huge, big ass fans. I think that's a name brand of one of them. But in any case, so they had a big fan and they had it with a mister. So it was very nice to be able to stand by one of those and cool off a little bit. Because it was sunny, it was a little bit warm. There was a nice breeze blowing though. But anyways, when we first came in, too, then there was right off to the left, there was a big liquid IV station. So we didn't go to that one. We were hoping to find lemonade. Cassie wanted to find the stage first right away. So we went down the one main road and found an upper area we could see down where the stage was. And okay. And at that point, I started kind of feeling the heat. I'm like, okay, I need to get some drink in me. And so we started going back to find lemonade. I'm like, well, they had liquid IV at this place. It was like $4 or something or other. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't think liquid IV doesn't come in cans because they also had liquid death. And I'm like, I know that that's usually like an iced tea type drink, a flavored drink. And so it was like, well, all right, let's $4 I can do that because they had a Italian ice station, and it was I think like $20, $18 something for a cup of flavored ice. 15, I think it was 15. They did have they called it was like a lemonade, but it was lemonade slushy something that, so I thought about that, but again, we were trying to find actual lemonade. But I'm like, all right, I need to get some liquid IV in me and then we can find lemonade. Well, they sold the pack for $4, and then I needed some water to drink it with because I didn't bring my empty bottle with me or whatever, and so okay, well, then I asked for a water and I got that. Well, I think the water was like $8, so it still came up to like $12 or something for my can of water and my little packet of IV.
6 and 4 for 10.
Was it only 10?
Yeah. Well, and then
Okay.
I asked you for if you wanted tip, and tip would have taken it to 18.
Oh yeah. So, okay, it was only 10. But I was like, okay, 10 for that. It could have been 15 for the other. I'm like, oh.
It was 10 for each.
But in any case, it would have been 15 for the Italian ice.
Oh.
So, Cassie and I, they held the can while I poured it in. It did actually mix up well. I was kind of surprised. I didn't know how that was going to work with. I couldn't, close it and shake it or anything. But, so that was good. I drank all that. It was obviously it hydrated me. It kept me fine and full. And so then we walked some more of the ground, and then Cassie saw they were selling Minute Maid lemonade in cans, so she grabbed one of those, which is awesome. Saw the fountain. Checked that out. That was very beautiful. Oh, they had this one little area like a column of mirrors. So they had, I don't know, layers of mirror, 10 layers, whatever, and all the way around. So people were taking pictures of that, but there were a lot of people there. Walked around there, and there was a band merch type station, it was very large. It was long and all that, but the line for the merch was probably a good mile long because it snaked out and around the inside, by the actual merch booth. And then it went out into the crowd, and it snaked around another area, and then it went out and it snaked around another area, and then there was actually a guy at the end that had a sign that said, "This is where the merch line starts." So it's kind of like, oof, okay. And they did have a couple billboard signs that you could look on there to see what type of merch there was, but obviously they didn't list everything. So we they had some merch stuff listed.
That was for the Lollapalooza March. They didn't show what the artist merch
not
was.
the artist. Oh, okay.
No.
I thought it was that. I didn't get a chance to look. We went by quickly, and I'm like, well. And then we were hot, and we stood by our fan for a while. And I thought, well, let's walk around again. I forgot I wanted to check out the other stage. We actually kind of went down that way. We went down another lane, another road, and then we went through that little booth area. They had some like Dubai chocolate covered strawberries, which that line was long. And then they had some other booths. They had a Korean type booth with kimbap, and
That was it.
that was it.
It might have had the bulky too, but
Yeah, there were a few things there that looked interesting. But I was like, well, not exactly hungry just yet. Let's keep going. So we went through that area, which kind of cut across and went to another main road, and we were walking down that one. And went a little ways, and then it was kind of like, okay, they had some look like regular bathrooms that would normally be there just for the park, but they were closed off. So they wanted it, I guess, obviously for the people to use the porta potties. So they had different bathroom stations set up, and I thought, okay, well, now I drank my whole liquid IV, I'm gonna have to pee it out. But so we thought, all right, well, let's turn back around, let's get back towards the stage where we wanted to go, find where the bathrooms are. And so we did. There was a hot dog stand, but it was called, what was it? It wasn't a jumbo dog, or
it was something where you'd have to walk up to them and ask for like a big wiener or something.
yeah. It was kind of silly, the name that they had for it. Like I said, it was kind of like the big. It wasn't a big dog. That's okay. It was a goofy name.
I could walk up to someone and ask for a big dog. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna ask someone for a jumbo wiener, please.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It was just. So we kept walking. So there's another place that sells hot dogs. They had some guys also standing in the middle. Now again, they were obviously people from Lollapalooza, because they don't allow people just to come in and set up your own little booths out of the blue. So they had people that had like little coolers and stuff, and they were selling like hot dogs and popcorn and maybe cotton candy. Just hot dogs and popcorn.
And pizza.
Oh, and pizza. And so we thought too, well, we could have hit that, but anyways, we made our way back to the stage. We were thinking about sitting up in the upper area. I'm like, let's go check out the stage area, see what the area is like, where we're thinking we're gonna want to camp out, how close we can get. And so we got to the stage area and all that, and again, because it rained all day yesterday, like there was grassy areas, it was all wet, it was all mud, which obviously you saw on my shoes. So we tried avoiding the muddy areas. There was the sound area, you call it, not the sound booth, kind of like that for concerts.
It is like a sound booth. It's where the sound engineers.
Yeah, the sound engineer area. So that's obviously feet back from the stage. And so they had that all bordered off with metal barricades, which was very nice, very sturdy. And so on the outside of them were little like pads, again, metal stuff that was helping keep them up. But they were nice and dry and all that. So Cassie and I popped a squad. We hung out there. We sat there through at least two groups, maybe two. And then we decided that, okay, actually I started cramping up because sitting there, I did stand up a couple, twice I think, but I was sitting there and it was uncomfy being metal. And so then my butt was hurting because my butt also just can't handle that hardness. And so I was moving, I was kind of scooching back a little, or then I was leaning forward, or then I'd kind of not really cross my legs, but put my legs, sideways. So I was kind of sitting to the side, and then I had to sit to the other side because on that side I was falling asleep. And then I tried scooching back again and all that, and I've had this happen before with my stomach. The muscles just started cramping up and around the stoma. And I was like, oh, shoot. The one time this happened before, it was like so bad, I actually had to go to bed and lay down. And I'm like, I can't really lay down here again, which again, there wasn't really, but there wasn't somebody around. I really could have if I absolutely needed to, but I stretched out my legs, leaned back, and I kind of held on to it a little bit, and thank goodness, it went away right away. It's like, whew, okay. So then I stood up, and then Cassie stood up, and we waited for that group to finish, and we thought, okay, let's go check out the stage area. Because we knew on the right-hand side, again, there was a big puddly area, so we went around to the other side, and so, okay, it wasn't too bad. It was, there was a little wet area towards the middle, and I'm like, okay, well, we can go all the way. They actually had, in the middle of the stage area, so again, from the stage, like to the sound booth, it was bordered off, barricades were up again, so security was walking back and forth on there, which was very nice. And so we were going to kind of maybe try to get up against barricade. Again, I think the angels were looking out for us. Thank goodness we didn't. So we found there was a dry area of grass. There was, it was okay. And so we kind of started standing there because we're like, okay, we're going to start standing here for the next group. We're going to get ready for extraordinary. Well, for next day, we're going to kind of start, we're not too close because Cassie didn't want to be embarrassed that, okay, the groups are going to be up there. We're going to be up front and they're going to see that we don't know the songs and we're not singing along. And so we were far enough back that it was okay. And the next group played, And they were okay. They were, I don't know, again, I don't know if you call it EDM or whatever. They're
It was just a DJ.
like a DJ.
That's it.
There were two guys, and they had
No, I thought there was a DJ before that. There was a DJ before that, and then the two Irish guys, and then two Hollis. That next.
Well, no, because the one that we were watching, the one that we stood up for and watched the end of the show, there were three guys, and they were also, one of them was kind of doing DJing, but there was also a guy playing drums, one guy was playing guitar, and then he was kind of playing guitar and he was doing whatever on the thing.
I did not see that.
Oh, that's well, that's why we were standing there. We had to cover our eyes and look on the stage.
Oh, that's why. I didn't
And then we
see
moved over to, like I said, the front, and then we had these two guys playing, like DJing, and they had screens kind of behind them and then in front of them, and so it was a lot of visuals. Best part of that for me was that there was like this dog, kind of silhouette
several dogs.
and whatever, and then we had a couple dogs or whatever, so I was like, all right, trying to get a little footage of that, because I'm like, oh, whatever. People are enjoying that was good. Okay, and then everybody left after that. No. Because in the next group that came in, we thought that we would have it. Because when we moved up into there was a whole open area. And it was nice. We had a breeze. And it was wonderful. Even like when we were sitting through the other two bands, people would all leave. And then it was, you had the breeze. It was beautiful. And then the next group would come in because there's a half an hour between sets. So we're thinking, okay, we're going to stand here. This group will be done. People will leave for half an hour. We'll get a breeze. Oh my God, no. Soon as like that group ended and people were leaving, all these people poured in, and they were all like pushing forward and trying to get in front of us and all that stuff. And I was like, okay. And at that point, I told Cassie, I'm like, I feel like a sardine. It's like we were body to body, kind of even touching shoulders, and there was no space around you. So it was like, okay. And the people behind us are like, oh, we got to get up front. And I'm like, hello, dude. Like, we're all standing here waiting. I don't know.
Dude, the kids next to you were so cringe.
Oh, they were.
So
And then they
sorry.
started pulling out their vapes, and they were all like, oh, yeah, it's got, whether it had marijuana in or whatever. Because then the one kid's like, oh, I've never been high. He's like, well, you're going to really get high. You're going to pass it. You're going to get sick. You're going to, oh, but let me try. And so they're all vaping around us. So even though, of course, yeah, the rules say no smoking, no vaping. Yeah, well, right.
Well, no, even
We saw
sorry, not to
people
interrupt
smoking
story time,
and
but even like before that, there was like two girls who were initially in front of us, and then these three guys came up,
I should put you on camera.
and the two girls, I'm really not.
Oh, okay, never mind. Just hear Cassie's voice.
Then two girls stepped aside, and then these three guys came up, all like 20 something, and then the three guys started interrogating the girls about like attractive haircuts.
Oh.
So the one of them was like, oh, like a mullet, like that length is really good, or like a proper mullet, but what you have going on is really good. And he's like, well, I don't care about that hair anymore, I'm trying to get your snap. And she's like, no. And he's like, damn, just say I'm ugly. I'm like, oh my God, just shut up. You're trying to pull people at Lollapalooza?
Yeah.
You think that's
Which I
where
think
you
in the
build
end they did.
relationships? Oh God.
Because she had some hair clip thing, and towards the end she got up to him. She's like, telling him, what do I say? And then she went up to him, and then she was like, okay, put this hair clip in. At first he was like, no. And then he was like, okay. And then he put the hair clip in it. He was like, oh.
The blonde kids who were shirtless?
No. Not
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know, the guy, he wasn't like,
No, that was
the girls next to us. And the other.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the blonde kid. Before
Oh.
Hollis started.
Oh. Okay, they weren't part of that group.
No, I had the
There's another
HD
5.
view of the guy.
Well, those guys were doing this, whatever, I don't know. The ones that were
I had
vaping,
that
and they
HD
were.
view of that guy, and then the moshing started.
Oh, so all the vaping. Yeah, so anyways, like I said, yeah, we're standing there, and this next group is going to go on. And we've got this half an hour break that they're setting up. And all these people poured in. And Cassie and I are like, what's going on? And Cassie pulls up her phone, and she goes, well, he's got like 2.6 million followers. And
Monthly listeners on Spotify.
Oh, monthly listeners on Spotify.
That's the important part.
And so and the people around us are like, and they're showing their video footage of, oh yeah, and the mosh pits, and they mosh pit, and I'm going, oh my God, okay, well, mosh pits are closer to the stage, and they're within like the first 10 feet-ish or so. We're good. We're like 25 feet away. So I told Wayne later, I said, I thought I knew what a sardine was. I felt like a sardine. I did not know. I had no clue.
Oh, no. Sorry. That SpongeBob episode with it is the sardines who come in, they're like, meat, and it's the waves, and Squidward is on the waves.
Oh.
That's what it turned into.
Yeah. Thank
God.
God. Nobody was crowd surfing. Because I thought for sure, I'm like, well, that's what they were going to end up doing. But no, so the music started, And the people kind of started, and the guy came out and did whatever, and the whole crowd moved. Yes, it's 2 feet forward or so. And so I kept behind Cassie. I was hanging on to Cassie's waist. And we just moved. We had no choice. We moved with the crowd. And they were up there for a little, and then they waved back. And so then we had to go back. And I was like, oh my Lord.
They jumped.
I have never been scared. I was a little scared at a concert. I was like, oh my God, I've never experienced this. Oh my God. Yeah, and then they were jumping. They were jumping and they were moving, and people kept pushing forward. They kept, oh yeah, like they had friends up there. Some of them did, but some didn't. They were just, everybody wanted to be friends. I'm like, oh my Lord. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Extonary isn't worth this, that, you know, that we can be that close. We're moving back so we can be safe. And we finally got to a spot where we could stop. And I mean, I put myself as a brick. I put my feet down so that I crouched down. My knees were bent. Well, my knees were bent. I was like sturdy like a rock, because I had people pushing me from this side and people pushing me from that side, and I'm like, I'm holding ground. I'm holding ground. But we still did a little bit. We still ended up moving, and then finally, thank God, one of the security guards stopped the show. He was standing on the stage, and he actually stopped the show and said, "Hey, there's a medical emergency. You guys need to back it up." He's like, "So I'm gonna count to 3, and I need all of you to take 3 steps back." And the crowd listened, and that was good. So people took 3 steps back. And then he's like, and I need you to do it again. And we took 3 steps back. And I don't know if he had I think maybe the 3rd time we did that. And then he's like, you know, you guys need to be safe. And so that was good. They were also handing out waters, which was awesome. Again, I think this is a Lollapalooza thing, because they were boxed waters. It was all, and for every show they were doing that. The security, again, that was walking up and down the aisles, they were holding up boxes of water and all that, and they were sometimes throwing them into the crowd because somebody had their hand up, or they were handing them out, which was awesome. At the end, during this show, because we were also packed in, they were actually throwing the water at people. They uncapped, and they were like pouring it on the crowd. Because again, even though we took those steps back, and then the guys came out, at least he kind of said, he's like, "Hey, I want you all to be safe."
Well, that's only after they stopped the show.
Oh, well, yeah.
Not to call it performative,
but
I'm calling it performative.
Because I'm kind of trying to think. There was that one guy who did the thing, and he's known for soliciting riots, and people got killed at his shows.
All right.
And so I was thinking, okay, again, if that's kind of high in their mind, and I'm sure Lollapalooza telling the security, you know what, yeah, this is something you got to keep an eye on. And if they know their performers, who they're booked, and what kind of crowd they are. Because again, the audience sure as heck all knew. They all knew, oh yeah, mosh pit, and we're going to be doing it. I'm like, oh, not me. All this extraordinary. There were a bunch of extraordinary people there. There were a good amount. And I'm thinking, all those people were probably like same as me, going, what in the world? This is not what we signed up for. But, so yeah, then we kind of, like I said, I went back a little bit and stuff, and I had Cassie. It was like we were right next to each other, so we were good. I had her in front of me, and I think, and all the vaping and the smoking and the, like I said, whatever, during this whole thing too. And then throwing at the cans. All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see something, and the aluminum cans. Somebody's like, they're throwing out front. That happened a good 3 times. And I'm like, oh my Lord, people. And then with the boxed waters, they were nicely handing out. They were throwing the boxed waters, a couple times. I'm like, oh. And thank goodness, the show ended. And people are like, oh, one more song, one more. And it's like, oh, no, because you're not the finished group. It says Lollapalooza. They've got a time frame. They've got, a set schedule. So he couldn't do another song. But he did end up walking down the middle corridor and had his hand out, and he was giving like high fives to each side, which everybody gets surged the barricades, and we're taking photos of their, I'm like, okay, we're just standing here. So I thought, again, you know what? Thank God we weren't on the barricade, because if those crowds surged and pushed us against the barricade, there was nowhere to go. We would have been like squished. So there were a few people that actually left while the show was going on. In the beginning, right before he called a medical emergency, actually one girl was leaving. She was like a little shorter, and her boyfriend was behind her or something. And he was all like, she can't breathe. And they were, leaving the area. But the show ended, and you know what? 3/4 of those people left. And it was like, whoa, Cassie and I are like, ding, closer. Let's get a little closer then. So that was nice. And it was funny. So then again, they were setting up for the show, and it was almost ready to start. Security guard came out again, and he was like, okay, I see in the front here, a little bit in the corners, people are a little squished. So again, I need you guys to take 3 steps back. Got my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. He goes, all right, some of you aren't moving. He goes, we can do this now, or we can do this in the middle of the show if you want me to stop the show. He goes, so how about we listen now, And then he did it a second time, and then he did it a third time, and then he goes, okay, is everybody good? Anybody still feeling squished? A couple hands went up. He goes, okay, you guys, you need to move. And so he said it again. Nobody was like, you need to move. And then everybody like stepped again. And you know what? We all stayed in our spots. The concert started, Extraordinary came out, everybody was, happy and fantastic and cheering, and they're kind of more, it's like heavy metal band.
They're a rock band.
And yeah, so people were jumping. It was hard music, and people were jumping in their spots. There was no movement for the whole concert. We all stayed in our spot, at least everybody that I could see in my whole area. I was like, I don't know about up front, a little bit, whatever, but you know what? I'm like, what a difference of a crowd. But man,
No vaping.
there was, and there was like, once I smelled like some marijuana or whatever, but yeah, again, the clean air, it was so nice. And even the security guard, he was stood on like a little step stooly type thing. It was part of the barricade. The good and the bad. As obviously it was dark out, so he kind of stood up there so he could see what was going on. But he was actually bopping his head along to the whole thing, because before that, even when the other concert started, like a couple times I saw different security guard. He stood up on again one of the step stool part of the barricade, and he was looking around, and his eyes just like opened and his jaw kind of dropped as he was seeing the crowd surging and all that too. And we locked eyes, and it was too. My eyes are like. I'm like, I know. I'm like, ooh. And so for, like I said, then for Extraordinary, the security guard, he was there for the whole thing. So unfortunately kind of blocked Cassie's view of one of the members.
I wouldn't have an issue if he was in the aisle the whole time. It was the fact that he was standing up on the step the entire time. So I couldn't see my favorite member.
I kind of thought again, I'm like, maybe he'd get down, because he was kind of doing that for the other shows. He would, go and he'd stand up there, he'd look around and whatever, but then he was like just walking the middle part. But for this one, he stood the whole time. And on our side, I'm like, go stand on the other side. Okay. What's with our side? Are we? But so be it. It was good. It was a good show. It was wonderful. The people were good. We got little lobsters. One of the girls came up to us before the other show started, but she was like, oh, are you here for Extraordinary? She goes, here's a little lobster, because that's one of their songs. So that was very cute. So both Cassie and I got this little lobster.
I will find to show George.
Yeah, we got to put, where is he? Dun, dun, dun. Why is it focusing on me and not the lobster? I want to show George.
Look at him. It won't focus. I'll take a picture for you to include.
Okay. Yeah. So that was very sweet. And then people had their light sticks, as they do for the K-pop bands, so that was cute. And they were all very respectful with that. Every once in a while, like Cassie will go to a concert and she'll say, oh, and this person had their light stick up and all that. They didn't. Everybody had it like at head level. Recording, people had it at head level, which was nice. It was respectful so people could record, that... They were friendly. The girl next to me, she was like, oh, I'm sorry if I bumped into you or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? You're good. For what we just came from, I'm like, this is a lot of room. This is space. Like, I actually wasn't touching anybody for the whole concert. Oh, man. But there you go. Another experience. Now we know what kind of Lollapalooza is about. We've experienced that, been there. We've got one more day to go, but again, now we kind of know how it all works and all that too with the entrance. Because when we first got in, they like just checked your wristband, and it's actually got like a little chip in that like purple part, so you can actually put your Venmo and stuff on there too for when you pay at all the booths. You can just hold that up to the machine, and you also have to scan that when you go in. They have little LED readers that you scan, so instead of anybody even having a handheld whatever device to do that and all that. And so we got through the first part. They were checking wristbands, and then you had to go and you had to actually scan it in that you're in. And we kept going, I'm like, oh, that was good. That was fast. Wow. Because, we got our little clear backpacks. We're all good. And then we're going over the main bridge to get to the park, and they're all like, there's a recorded message coming through the speaker saying, have your backpacks off, have all pockets open, have whatever. And I'm like, oh, what do you got? Cassie's like, yeah, we got to go through security. I'm like, oh, I thought we went through security. We checked in. We did. I was like, that was pretty fast. That was important. But, we got our clear backpack. Yeah, but no. So then we had to go through the script, but that actually went very fast too. So I had my ostomy supplies out. I actually opened up the thing just so they could even glance in there, and I had my backpack open. And so I handed it to her. I said, okay, these are my ostomy supplies. She opened it up, shut it. She zipped it shut for me, put it aside, glanced at my backpack, shut it, pushed it aside. I'm like, oh, all right, again, too. It was fast. So good on them. While I wasn't waiting in line for the porta potties, we got back over to that side of the park, and we were going to get to the stage area. I said, let me empty out. And again, the porta potty lines were long. And so while I was waiting, there was some girl that came over, and she was saying something about, she got checked at the gate, and they took stuff away from her, whatever. And then they they made sure she had to empty her pockets, or they felt up and down her legs. They felt up her boots anyways, and she had stuff in her boots. Because I'm seeing people wearing cowboy boots, and I'm like, really? Why are people wearing cowboy? You want to be comfortable. That's like, so well, what are you wearing? Yeah, but some of them like, I gotta wear my Crocs, obviously. I got all muddy. Who knew? But because some other shoes, I'm like, oh yeah, you guys, those are some good shoes to be wearing today. Yeah. And then the people watching, that was just interesting. All the outfits people were wearing, like bathing suit tops. One girl was just in a bra. Shorts, guys get, shirtless, not bad. So be it. But some had sparkly outfits on. One guy had rainbow tights on. That was kind of cute. Cute outfits. Some, like I said, they had, one of them had like a silver shiny top on. It was, looked alienish, like you're an alien. But fun, interesting. Again, been a long time since I've done that too. But good group of people. Everybody was having fun. All the different groups, all the people were coming in to listen to the different groups. They were dancing. They were having fun. So that's what this is all about. So tomorrow we have a break. So we'll see how we're feeling from all that walking and standing. And then Saturday we go to like a local bar that one of the other groups is playing at. They call it an after show, but it's going to be like 10 in the morning. That's for Boy Next Door. And then they are playing again on Sunday. So Sunday our show is at 2 o'clock. Again, park opens at 11, so we're going to try to get there at 11. And find that stage. That's going to be again on the other side of the park. And we'll go over there and see what we see and go from there. Maybe try some food. Like I said, Cassie bought a pretzel. She ended up buying a pretzel. We didn't get a hot dog, and I ended up having 2 bites of that, and that was like it. And I'm like, I wasn't really hungry. And even now, I'm not really hungry, but I'm like, I want to eat something. So I'll have my bread. Yay. Glad I packed that. It's been good. And I have the strawberries. We've been eating that. Cassie had some kiwi. So, fun. All right, we're making our stop at our K-pop store. Gotta hit that while we're here. Very cute paintings. There are a few more. I guess that's an art school. Such cute little plushies. They're so soft. And then they have these cute little keychains. Good luck. Oh, he turned. This one says Love BFF. And look at those cute purses. Fun. Alright, second K-pop store on our way home. And there is some peach tea here. That's what Cassie likes. We're picking that up. And they have some sparkling water. I'm thirsty. I need something to drink. It's a little warm out. It's windy, so we're gonna try a cider. It's citrus flavored. Cassie says maybe grapefruity, but it says citrus, so I'm hoping it'll be okay because I don't care for grapefruit. But we'll try it. Well, we took a wrong turn and we're walking on the riverfront and see these cute little birdhouses. But very nice walk. A lot of people walking their dogs. Foliage, lots of shade. I saw some other cute birdhouses, but very nice. Very pretty. Yeah, butterflies flying around. Nice walk. You get to see the city. That's the street that's closed. So we got to get to the others. the other side, another block over, so that we can cross the water. All right, here we go. Walking over the water. Oh, there's a Walgreens over there. So, this wouldn't be so bad. When I first crossed it the first time, I thought I'll just walk over to the left here. But if you look down there, you see water. So that's not cool. Because then there's all water and all that on this side. But being afraid of heights, this wasn't so much fun. Which is funny, because when I'm driving in a car, being a passenger, I can look out over to the sides, and I'm okay. So I figured I either need like horse blinders on, so I could just see straight ahead and not to the sides. Or when we walked over the first time, heading out this morning, I looked up, and that helped. So without looking down, I'm not seeing what's down there, but I did okay. But it's very pretty. Oh, we made it. All right, here's our haul from shopping today. Went to CVS. Cassie picked herself up a Celsius. She got some more allergy pills because these work better than the capsules. $50. Even the cashier was like, did I ring that in right? Is that even the right price? You're like, yeah, I know normally it's around 30 to 40. So
And that's for 30 to 40 tablets. And
yeah, this is for 70 tablets. So that's good. She Cass takes this every day, so that's fine. It'd just be nice if we could use like our medical card on there, reimburse. We'll see. I ran out of makeup base while I was here, and I kind of knew I would. And of course they didn't have the one that I am using right now, but we found hopefully a good substitute. That'll be my color. And of course for a little bit of chocolate every day. Gotta have that. And then, like I said, this is the second K-pop store we stopped at.
Yeah.
We got this drink, so I am ready to drink that because I didn't get it on the road. I forgot. We got her peach drinks. They nicely asked if I wanted straws. I was like, oh yeah, that would be good because these are usually pourable into a cup, and we do have a cup here, but it'll just be better that way. And then the first K-pop store, Cassie wanted to pick up these cute little keychains.
No, they were at the second store.
Oh, those were at the second store too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. If it goes somewhere. Yeah, they go on the other one.
I wanted this.
But, yeah, I just put it in her same bag. That's why. Because they gave us this cute little bag. This is for the Kara Nara. Right?
K-pop
K-pop Nara?
Nara. K-pop Nara.
They don't have it in there. Okay. That's a nice cloth bag, though, so nicely reuse that. Oh. So I took a picture of the sign before we went in the store. So that store, she ended up buying a couple more albums. These are like blind buys, so you don't know whose pictures are in there. But because of buying 2 of them, then you get 2 photo cards free. So we got those 2. This is the one from the band that we saw last night.
Yep.
So that's Extraordinary. This is Boy Next Door. This is who we're going to see on Sunday.
Yep.
And then these guys are from Boy Next Door then.
Yes.
Because that's why they came free with this. And then we also got a free little fan. So, ooh, there, do you feel cooler? Ooh. And then that also came free with.
No, it didn't. I
No.
bought this.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And she bought that one too. Got to get our K-pop stuff in.
Yeah.
Woo! And how many subs did we get?
8,000 something.
8,000. What did we get yesterday?
9,000.
So much for our day of relaxation. But not much going on. Again, sunny out there. I didn't even remember until we got back to the hotel that it was like, oh yeah, I forgot my sunscreen to put on because I just thought we were going out to lunch and coming back. And even though I figured we'd hit a K-pop store, but then we just walked all over. Had a good time.
Because we thought we knew better than the pedestrian signs. And therefore it took an extra
we took a
half-mile
wrong-
detour.
Long tour. We thought we could go a block over the one way. And we couldn't. It ended up being a couple blocks, and we realized we couldn't get back over with walking a bunch more blocks, so we just
Yeah.
turned around.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good though. Whew, I am standing here with the air blowing on me. Ooh, oh, it feels so good. Usually I'm not one for the air just blowing and it feels so good, but right now I was like, oh, it's not going to feel that warm in the room. Oh, it felt warm. But anyways, let me see if I can film this and open. And not
Do you
spill.
wanna know?
Yeah. Hold on. We'll let Cassie film. Cassie's helping me. So we're going to pour the soda in. I'm assuming it's clear because it's citrus.
Yes.
And plus it says it's sparkling water. So there we go. I'm hoping it's going to taste like a Sprite.
It kind of does.
I like Sprite. Woo. Yes, no.
It's more like
Backlit.
a Fanta.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like.
Not
is
like
that-
Sprite?
No, like Fanta.
All right, my turn. Oh, you want to take a big sip? You just sip from the can.
I
You
just
want a big sip?
sipped the- I can take a big sip. Sure.
Oh, okay.
I can't even
You
show you
sip from the
side up sip though.
See, part of why Cassie chose this one is because it has side duck on the can, and that's one of Mandy's. Dun, dun, dun. Can I see what's out there? We go. That's Mandy's favorite. That's the one we have the stuffed animal of on the back of our couch that we've shown in videos. I've shown in videos, but all right, let me try. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Cheers. $50-50. Could be Fanta for you. For me, 50-50 sour. That would make sense. Grapefruit. All right. Yay. That's okay. I like that too. So, woohoo. Time to hydrate. We are on our way to this morning's concert. These pretty planter boxes. And we're now going to go walk through that little tunnel over there. Pretty cute. So happy Friday. Today is the Boy Next Door, after show at 11:30 in the morning. We're all ready. Woo. So the show starts at like 11:30. Doors open at 10:30. So it is like 8:45. So hopefully there won't be too many people in line. Hopefully we'll get a good spot because it's standing room only. So it'll be nice to get kind of close. At least again, good weather, fantastic. Sunny, nice, a little breezy. It's good. It's a pretty neat bridge. And a nice building. Tall buildings. Nice view. This is our walk. Very pretty. It's always interesting when they make curved buildings and stuff instead of just square. All right, we made it. I'm looking up, I did the walking thing last night and I saw that there's this interesting building here, which is this half parking. And the parking man, they all back up and there's only a thin wire fence for them to not back off. And then there's the House of Blues. That's where we're going. Okay, and we were over there and here's the line. So much for us thinking that we were going to get here kind of early. But at least we found the line. We don't have to worry about where we're thinking that is. But I see it keep going. Oh boy. I didn't notice when I was doing the walk on Google, but there's actually two of those buildings. Probably because I was only doing the street for where we were, and I knew that was next to it. Boy Next Door! Alright, we're moving. The doors are open, people are moving. So we're scooched up a little bit, but it dawned on me, I'm gonna have to stand on that bridge and wait for a while. This will be interesting. We're on the bridge. The bridge is bouncy as the cars go by. I'm pretending I'm on one of those vibration boards. But here's a cute little boat coming by with a big alligator on it. Fun. You can see the House of Blues sign. We're getting there. Way back there where that street light is, that's where we were. The end of the line is still fairly over there, but we've moved through pretty far. We're up now to the front of where this bridge is that I pointed out next to this parking complex.
Yeah, I mean, this has more.
We're getting closer. Alright, we're inside. This is how close we are to the stage. We made a pit stop on the way back. I did want to use the restroom because I didn't use it all, obviously if we're going in the concert. I didn't use it there because once you got there, I mean, it was kind of close to start time. So we just got our spots and hung up there. And then afterwards, I thought I could grab a water from the bar before we left. But as we come back, Cassie's like, well, they have a Dunkin' maybe. I'm like, we passed one on the way here, and it was like right here. So nice. So I have a blueberry, a blueberry something refresher. Blueberry raspberry lemonade.
Blueberry breeze refresher.
Blueberry breeze lemonade refresher. And what did you get? Oh, Heather's and Cassie.
Just an iced chai.
Yay! So, get closer. So what'd you think?
I had
It's
a
over.
great time. I got a serenade. That's all I really need in life.
As you saw from the previous pictures that I took, hopefully, we were obviously like a mile back in line.
Oh,
You heard somebody got there. What time?
2 a.m.
Yeah.
They were
That's
camping
like
out.
2 of the people were camping out for. I mean, I get it, but then again, you know, not for us. We're staying in a hotel. We're not going to be sitting out on the street overnight, and sleep's more important to me anyway. But we were close. I was surprised. I was, explaining to Cassie before we left. I said, with how far back from the stage we were, I actually felt closer than we did at the Extraordinary concert. Maybe they were further back on stage. I don't know. These guys seemed close, so it was very nice. I could actually see, and I could tell which member was which. So, so we were a little further back, but like I said, it was good. It was again a good crowd. There was no pushing and shoving, and we weren't really body to body. I had some room in front of me a little bit. So even the people right behind me was kind of like a bar area. It was a little higher up where people could sit if you wanted alcohol. I don't know how those people got there because there was a lady that was, staff that was standing there saying nobody else, no, you couldn't stand there. There wasn't a standing area. And she kept people that were then trying to stand on the stairs that went up to this little area. They're like, nope, can't stand on the stairs. And so those people are kind of going in and then trying to blend into the crowd. So I was afraid Cassie was going to get kind of pushed aside, but we were okay. We got to film.
Yep.
Lots of good footage.
Filmed the entire thing.
It was an hour-ish long, it seemed. An hour plus, because we started at...
We started late.
Well, we started a little late. Not bad, though.
No, it was only like 10 minutes.
So I think I checked at, it was like 11:25, yeah, and people were still coming in. The security guard nicely at the top of the stairs, too, was all like, don't run, there's plenty of time.
Save your energy.
Yeah, I was like, everybody has to, we'll have a good spot or whatever, and there too, when we got up, it was like, oh, well, they play songs beforehand, so everybody's singing. So, of course, people that are just getting in are thinking, oh my God, they're playing.
Well, yeah, because after the songs would end, everyone would cheer. So they knew they were coming on.
So those were just, like I said, the recording is everybody's still getting set up. But, maybe, because it was about 12:45 when it ended. And so if they started between 11:30 and 11:45, it was good. It was an hour long. They seemed happy. They were very smiley, happy, bouncing, jumping around, excited that we were there, excited that this was the pre-show. So again, knowing that tomorrow they're going to have a good crowd. Because they're all like, oh, you're all going to Lolla, and everybody's like, oh yeah, and that was so again. Nice to kind of have a smaller venue that they could see the faces, they could appreciate it. There was like a balcony area too, and they were acknowledging those people too. It was very nice. They were kind of like, ooh, and waving to them. So very cool. You got your songs. You got your Georgia.
I did. I got 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, and I got Sungho's dance partnership. They were the only ones who did the pair dance.
They only did the one pair.
Sungho and Leon did their pair dance, and they were the ones who did the pair dance. So
nice.
Amazing. I got 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. I got Serenade. I got But Sometimes. I mean, everything is good.
Everything is good. And again, a lot of the people knew the songs. They were all singing, as I told Cassie too. I said in reality, and the music level was good. The music level was just the right level. Right.
Volume.
Great. That's it. Great soundness. I make up my own words these days. A good volume. That it didn't hurt the ears. It didn't, because we were debated on earplugs the other day, and then it was like, we made it through extraordinary. It was okay. So we could make it through a point of storm. And even though with this venue and small, like I've been to the rave in Milwaukee, and that was definitely. This was fantastic. Good volume and all that. I don't feel deaf. I'm more deaf from the people around me screaming. That pitch or whatever was like, and I'm like, ooh. So as we left there, I'm like, I could feel it just a little. But again, that's okay. Everybody had fun, like I said. Good crowd, good people. So, looking forward to tomorrow. Right now, and we're just going to be heading back. It was a good half an hour walk back to our hotel.
So we're just gonna take that slowly and see the sights. So that's about it. Got chicken waiting for us back in our room. We'll have to find something else along the way, but you know, we got our drinks, so woo! There's a cute little decoration over there by that building. I like how they have the middle area all decorated too, or I should say filled with planters and plants and trees, besides all these ones here on the sidewalk. Very pretty. Sunday, we are here for our last day of Lolla. The line we got here is gates open. So now we just gotta make it to our, well, through security and then to our stage. There's the opening crowd. Lots of people. A whole heck of a lot behind us. Alright, they nicely have these hydration stations. So they have water spouts. So I brought my empty water bottle in. I can fill it up with water. I do have a liquid IV pack with me, so I can fill it with that. Cassie said she'd prefer liquid IV than just water. But there's our stage. Look how full it is already. And then this one over here is Sabrina Carpenter. They're already really full too. But there's one group before Boy Next Door. And then that, but I'm glad this water station was close. So I could get that, and then we're just gonna camp out here for a couple hours because it's like just after 11 and show starts at 2:15. Found a place to rest in the shade of the trees, and we can see the main stage. Sabrina Carpenter will be playing there later. Cat's Eye is playing there now, but look at all those people. Interesting. Well, we can hear the music from here right now, so that's nice. And obviously these people here on the hill are kind of doing the same. They're chilling in the shade. You get a little bit of a breeze. Woo! And then there's Cassie. Hearing the cicadas in this tree next to where we're sitting. I saw that there is a shell. There's a shell of one. Oh, there's a shell of one. There's another one. And a couple more. And that's just this branch. And then we got more on the branch over there. Funny. Alright, Lollapalooza, we are leaving. It's been fun. Thanks. Okay, I think I'm in screen. We just got back to the hotel after our concert. It was sunny out there. I did put sunscreen on. You can see it's still breezy, but yet what I got just a tad bit sunburned myself. Cassie's a little bit sunburned. You can see that. So see a little bit of line. At least my face doesn't look like it got it. We'll see a little later. I'm not used to this filming in the mirror thing. Cassie's ear got a little burnt in there too. I forgot to put sunscreen on my ear, so we will check it out. She's in the shower now. I will shower after. Ooh, at least I bought the aloe vera stuff in case we did get burned, because I had a feeling. All right, out of the shower. I got a little more burned than I thought I did. So there's that, and then let's see if I can see. Let's turn around. The back of my neck too. I thought my hair was covering it. I don't know if it's showing the mirror or not, but
But yeah. I mean, I put on sunscreen. I put it on, granted, while I was talking to Cassie and Wayne. So I wasn't paying as much good attention than usually just doing it here in the bathroom. But, yeah, a little bit burned. The sun was strong, and we were out in it for 3.5 hours. So, understandable. Alrighty, back at the hotel room. It was kind of funny. I just went to the bathroom and washed my hands, and I noticed I had mascara on the top of my, like under my eyebrow, because it was so hot today. So as I figured, looking at the forecast, today was the hottest day of what we were going to have. And just the good and bad, I'm glad I wore this shirt. I was going to wear a tank top. And I thought, you know, with the sun being out, even if I put sunscreen on, I may burn a little bit. And in reality, I did. Got a little bit of a burn line. My face at least looks okay. I think my ear looks okay. I didn't double check it. It doesn't feel super hot. This side was in the sun. We got there when the doors opened. I filmed that a little bit. We got to the stage we needed to get to. Doors open at 11. Show was at 2:15. So there was one performance before that, started at 12:45. People were rushing to the stage. Between the stage we were at and kind of the stage that was right behind it, that was the main stage. Sabrina Carpenter was playing there tonight. So we've got a lot of people going there for that. There's another K-pop group, it's K-pop, right? Called Cat's Eye. Katsuye. So I guess a lot of people were going for that too. A lot of people were going for Boy Next Door, which we kind of figured, seeing as again, when we were doing the show that we saw yesterday, that they let in 1,800 people, and I believe tickets were all sold out. So you knew there was going to be at least 1,800 people going to Lollapalooza, to that stage. So by the time we got there and we walked as fast as we could, I had to run a little bit to keep up with Cassie, and my back was hurting a little. So I wasn't walking as fast as usual, but I did it. I kept up. And we got there, and yeah, the stage was fairly loaded. Just the area, the barricade and back. So we got about as good as maybe we did for Extonary, maybe a little closer. And people just packed in like sardines. And there was no breeze, and there were no tall downtown buildings to block the sun. It was sunny, it was hot. Once again, thank God, Lollapalooza, they did a bunch of things right with this show, which is good. I know they've been running it for years. This is our first time being here. But again, they were handing out the waters, and that was nice. And they got to a point where in reality, they were even poking holes in some of the cans or whatever. They had some aluminum cans that they were just spraying the audience. So yeah, got a drop or two on ya. It still felt good. It would have been nice to have like as a hose. Or they had these, like I said, talked about the big fans from on Thursday. People were saying, oh, it'd be nice if they had one of those fans here at this, at the stage, that they could have been blowing that on the people. But yeah, talked with some of the people around us. They were friendly enough. It was good. Got through the first show. He was good, independent type music, Joe P. And he played guitar and sang, and he had 2 other guitarists and a drummer. His music was all right, 45-minute show. So, it was an hour. 45 minutes. 45 minutes for his show. And that was okay. And then we had another 45 minutes for setup for Boy Next Door. And again, with the sun beating down on us. And get a few more people started kind of pushing in. So, like with Extonary, we didn't really have that. The people, they didn't push in, they didn't whatever, everybody held their spot, that was good. With this one, there were a few pushy people. There were some that were next to us, and there was this, older mom. She seemed older than me. Maybe she was or not. Because she had a daughter, she's the same, probably, Cassie's age. And she was short, but it's like she was pushing over. She was pushing, kind of pushed into me. And the daughter was like, so she was like, oh, I'm short. And it's like, yeah, I get that. And yeah, maybe then try to find a spot where you can see, but then, you know what, we're all here for the same thing. We're all here because we like this band. And so, I'm sorry you didn't get here any earlier than anybody else. I mean, same, we're all also getting to the stage at the same time. And that's what it is. That's what you've got when you have a standing room only show. Just because you're short doesn't mean you get to be in the front. So, and they had a screen, a TV screen up on the side that they did. They had big cameras on the sides. They were televising Lollapalooza
on some channels, like TV channels that you could actually get. So they did a good job filming that, because they did with the guy that was before. I saw some of that stuff. I'm like, oh, it almost looked like even some, like a YouTube type video. It was a big music video. I thought they did a good job. So again, you could see on the screen, and there was only a screen not even on our side. So that was like, you could see out there if you needed to. The other side, I didn't see a screen. So be it. But it ended up, as time went by, that woman pushed forward and then pushed forward again, and then pushed forward again. And so she was, up front. And then her daughter was, also kind of shortish or whatever. And then they had a tall boyfriend who was as tall as me.
No, just a friend.
Oh, was it a friend?
Yeah.
A brother?
No,
a friend?
just a friend.
Okay. So the friend was as tall as me, and he even said at one point when he was kind of like behind me, off to my side, and he was like, oh, I feel kind of bad because I'm tall or whatever. And it's like, oh, well, okay, and you get that. So then you're like, well, but of course, because the women were pushing forward, well, then he was pushing forward, and lo and behold, he ended up in front of Cassie. I'm like, it's just Cassie's fate with these concerts of having tall people in front of her. So it's like, whatever. And then there was another girl that was even a little further up that had her phone, and she was holding her phone, above her head. So as opposed to head level, which most people do to be respectful so people can see. A couple of the people in this crowd had their phones way up. So same, even for the people that are trying to shoot, head level, we're getting their phones or not, kind of being in their way and whatever. But so yeah, then there was another point. There was a girl that was standing next to us, and then during even I think the concert before the show before this, the Joe P concert, I could tell she was texting her friend on something about with the friend trying to meet her there or whatever. So finally, the friend did come in. And they ended up like changing places. So whatever, this friend stayed and then she left. So I was waiting for her to come back, which she never did. But the Joe P show ended and all that, and this girl just plopped her butt on the ground and sat. So then a couple more people started pushing through to try to get through by us, and they pushed into me and all that. And I'm like, why are you pushing? And they're like, oh, we're just trying to get through, and I said, but you can't get through here. There's somebody sitting here. And they're like, well, is she okay? And I'm like, yeah, she's just tired. She's resting. Oh, okay, well, we'll just go behind you then. And I'm like, well, yeah, whatever. Again, we're all here seeing the same group, people. So then they went a little bit behind me and then they're like, oh, well, how are we getting to your friend? She's over there. And there's barricades. Because, again, they had barricades down the middle. So security could walk up and down and hand out waters. I ended up going through, I got 4 boxes of water from them. I'd taken my empty Fiji bottle. I filled it at one of the water stations as soon as we got our place at the stage. I went off to the water station. I filled it. I put a liquid IV in there. I pretty much drank that whole thing. And then with the waters that the security was handing out, I took those and I filled my bottle. And Cassie had a liquid IV, so I put her liquid IV in the bottle to make sure that she was drinking. And we went through that bottle, and I think maybe I was down so far with that liquid, and then I got another water bottle, and I feel like I said, I got 4 boxes from security. And we got, then the show started, Boy Next Door started and everything, and it was nice. It was great. They were, again, having fun. It was a good show. We got about halfway through. I think they went in the back to take a little bit of a break. Don't know if they did a clothes change or anything. No, probably not. Seeing as this, again, was only an hour show. So they just went off to, take a break. They get the fans on them, get the sweat wiped off of them, get some drinks for themselves. They drank, a couple of them drank their whole bottles on the stage too while they're there. And they're like, are you guys hot? I'm like, yeah. But anyways, again, there were a few people that were trying to scoot through and whatnot. Well, at that point, Cassie was getting a little dizzy. She was, because of all the heat and everything. And I think we forgot to eat breakfast because we did a phone call this morning with Mandy and Wayne. And so we didn't take time to really eat anything. And it was just kind of like, yeah, Cassie's like, can we leave? And I'm like, yeah, that's no problem. So we made our way out.
And that was good. And then we found one of those big fans with the water spraying at us and stood in front of that for a little while. And that was right near a hydration station. So I filled my bottle again with it. I'm like, thank God. I go, Lollapalooza did a lot of things right. And again, that was another one of those things of that they had these water stations where you didn't have to buy a liquid IV pack to fill your water. They just had the water stations there and you could fill it. They did say, they allowed empty water bottles in. So whether it was this, I guess I don't know why, because these are the bottles I drink out of lately, but you could actually bring in a clear actual water bottle and all that too. And they would allow you, again, go to these places and fill your bottles up. So that was awesome because, again, they wanted people to be safe. They wanted people to have a good time and they were keeping them hydrated. So again, at all the concert stages and stuff, they had people that were there that were able to, they were handing out the water. So keeping an eye on the crowd. So that was good. So as Cassie said, she goes, well, we saw them yesterday and it was the same set list. They didn't change anything up really. So yeah, it was great to see them, but now kind of had the experience of the standing room only, as opposed to a concert where you actually have a chair to sit so you can stand still and cheer and the guy, but then you can still sit in between if you want to in between, like when they do go in the back and do their dress changes and all that for real concerts. But again, it was hot. It was not overcast. Like I said, we didn't have any tall buildings blocking out the sun. I was hoping for some clouds, hoping for some breeze. But we made our way out of there. Like I said, we got from the fan for a little while. I filled my water, and then we walked back. As we walked to the water place, I saw some areas where people were sitting in the trees. And because it has been 4 days since the rain had been, the ground was fairly dry. I should say it was dried up. I didn't see any puddles or anything. So we went back to where some trees were and we sat down. We could hear the rest of the Boy Next Door stage. We couldn't see them, but we could hear them. But we could see the other stage, the main stage. So we saw a little bit of the Cat's Eye concert. And by the time we were rested enough and ready to get back up and we're thinking about food, it's like, okay, well, we're going to hang out. We're just going to walk around maybe a little bit, maybe go check out the merch station, see how long the line is today. Maybe grab a hot dog or something before we leave so that, again, we'll have some kind of real food in us for today besides just our snack and breads and strawberries. Well, then the concert let out. Cat's Eye was finished and there were a lot of people leaving and it was just kind of like, oh, oops, we missed the opportunity. We missed leaving before them. So yeah, there was a ton of people, but it's funny, there were still a ton of people left. As I was looking at them, like, God, I see all these people leaving, and I'm like, but yet there's still a lot of people left for seeing again Sabrina Carpenter at 9:00 tonight. But that was all right. We went over and we looked at the merch line, and it wasn't as long as it was Thursday, but it was still long enough. And Cassie's like, I don't need to. From what she could see from pictures that other people had posted, she wasn't too interested in the merch, but it was like, oh, okay, if it was a short line and we could actually really get up there and look at everything, she would have checked it out. But she's like, I'm hot, I'm hungry, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine by me. So we did. We left, thought we'd hit another Dunkin' Donuts again to get another one of those like raspberry lemonades in it because it was so good. And there was a Dunkin' like right there across the street and stuff, and I'm like, I want to get away from the crowds. And we had passed another Dunkin' on the way in, so I'm like, let's just go to that one. And so we went up the street, and it was still different than the one we hit yesterday. But we got to that one, and it was closed. And I was like, okay, well, there was a Qdoba across the street. So we went there and got food there. Cassie likes their steak salad. She creates her own, salad. Salad, double steak, tortilla chips. And so I thought, all right, I'll try a salad. So I got a salad with ground beef and tortilla chips and cheese. I forgot the sour cream. Beef is a little spicy for me. I forgot about that. But it was like a sour cream would have cut that a little bit, but so be it. I knew there was another ingredient. I asked Cassie, I'm like, what else did I watch? She's like, I don't remember. I'm like, I don't remember either. So we're the only ones in that restaurant too. So we had time to look, but I'm like, wow, all right. So as we're walking back, then I looked and said, yeah, I'm like, look at Cassie, and she did something. She kind of pulled on her shirt a little bit or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you're sunburned. So we hit her whole chest was sunburned. I thought one of her ears was what was facing the sun again. So her ear was sunburned. Her hair was enough on her back, and I kind of kept making sure her shirt was up so that the back of her neck wasn't showing. So that was more okay. But then her arm, because she'd had her arm up for doing a little bit of video and whatnot and stuff, and fanning herself because again being so hot. So her arm. Her right side, so her right arm got a little bit burned. left maybe a little, but so yeah, like I said, I brought some aloe vera gel, so we're gelling her up. I told her, you know, she said, oh, I read that like the more you put it on, like the better it'll be too, and it'll heal faster. So I'm like, all right, well, how about like, you know, every hour or so, then, you know, try to put some on, and I'm sure within, like by tomorrow, she'll be feeling better. It's not that bad of a burn and all that, so it'll go away. But it'd be interesting crowd. So again, being the K-pop crowd, and even from what we said yesterday, the people didn't seem that pushy. They weren't trying to get to the front. They weren't trying to scooch in. They weren't. They were more respectful, more better. Today it was like there were a few more rude people, which you get when you have a big gathering of people. But all in all, again, the show was good. The boys were having fun. They liked it. It was good energy. Lots of people, loud singing. So that's what it's about. So we've experienced Lollapalooza now. So one more night here. We leave tomorrow, make our way home. It'll be Monday. We'll be leaving, 11 o'clock, noonish, whatever. So we shouldn't have rush hour traffic on the way back home. It should be a nice, smooth ride. Still supposed to have good weather. So that'll be good. Yeah, noisy. God, that street is noisy. We went to bed last night, like at midnight, and there was still those loud cars. We were hearing that until like 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't fall asleep. I tossed and turned for a little while before falling asleep, and I heard the loud cars going. By this morning, we were leaving at like 10 a.m. We went to go leave for the concert, and I said, it's quieter outside now than it was at 1 a.m. That was funny. I guess it's also Sunday, but in any case, that kind of wraps up this video, because this is all about Lollapalooza. I did realize that I didn't put up a video on Friday. I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not. I was supposed to have the Cassie interview up, but I didn't get it edited, so when I get back, like I said, I'm a little behind on videos, but we'll get all this edited and up, and yeah, that was our Lollapalooza experience. So, Cass, any last words?
No.
Did you enjoy it? Would you come back? Would you do it again?
I'm not like a music festival person. I guess that's what this has taught me. Is I can do a concert that's like 1 to 2 hours, fine. I stand, I sit, because they do the VCR, they have to do outfit changes, They'll stop the concert and talk to us. Sometimes it's not all performances, versus go to a park in one of the 2 hottest months of the year, walk around when the sun is at its peak, stand in a crowd of people, standing room only,
for hours.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, like if Joe P wasn't the first set, if Boy Next Door was the first set, I don't think I would have asked to leave.
Oh yeah. No.
I don't care that they used the same set that they did yesterday. I love all the songs. Yeah. It was just the fact that I was there for like 2 to 3 hours before the show. And like the heat exhaustion was getting to me. Like at one point I looked down away from the stage diagonally, trying to fan myself a little bit more, look at something. Maybe I was looking in my pockets on something, and I just had a wave of dizziness hit me. I was like, I was joking in my head about being like, oh haha, medical emergency. I didn't actually want to be the medical emergency. So I guess those are my last words. I'm a concert person, not a music festival person.
But you have fun overall?
I did.
It was an experience. Yeah, it was all right. Lots of people.
Like, depending on the groups that are coming to Lolla, now that I really know what it's about, I would like, I'd consider how bad I really want to see them. Like, do I think they'll ever tour soon? If the answer is no, then I would consider coming again.
Okay.
If I think that they're big enough that the company is going to let them tour, like Twice. Twice was here yesterday. Twice is big, they'll tour.
Yeah.
If I really wanted to see them, I could fight for concert tickets.
You'd rather see them in concert than do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure here was fun. I'm sure it was great. I'm sure the Onces had a good time. I had a good time with my groups. Like Extonary. They're not, in my head, I don't think they're as big because they're a band. By default, they're not as big as the idol groups. So I don't think JYP is really gonna let them like tour sooner. Like they just finished like a world tour, like their Asia tour. No, just kidding. Well, like their world tour is 2 stops here, one in New York, one in California. That's their world tour. I can't make it there.
Yeah.
You know. So in a case like that, then yeah, and especially because I thought I could make up for what I saw in Seoul, because I got my view of Ode blocked in Seoul.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, now that we're in Chicago, I can see him because we're in Chicago. I'll try again. I'll try to see my bias. No. Through no fault of his own.
Yeah.
You know, if I really wanted to see him, I would have had us stand on his side of the stage.
Yeah.
But again,
you're just hoping to see both. And
exactly. I like all members enough that no matter where I stood, it would have been a fine viewing.
Yeah.
I had a really great time there, you know, and the fandom there is unbelievably nice. Not to say that they're better than the One Doors, but the villains were kind of better than the One Doors in terms of just like being polite.
Yeah.
You know, like all phones had a level. Light sticks weren't in the way. No banners were in the way. Before Boy Next Door even got on stage, someone was holding up their Lehan banner, and a girl around how far back I was had to shout, "Put your banner down. We want to see."
Oh, okay.
Like other people.
I was wondering if people would say that or not. Like I said, with that girl who was putting up her fan, there was one girl who had her fan way up high. I'm like, are ya calling for water? Because people had the even the what you call it, the fan out fans, because our fan was just a round piece of like cardboard type of thing that had the Boy Next Door on it, but other people had the actual fans that they were using to fan themselves, and some were nicely fanning others. They were holding their hands up high and they were like trying to fan people, but this one girl was putting her fan up, and I'm like, okay. Sometimes they were kind of setting up their cameras still and making sure everything was going okay, and they were shooting the audience, and I'm like, okay, she's trying to find herself on the screen, because I'm looking at that TV screen up to the side. I'm like, is she trying to find herself? Is she calling for water? Because you're supposed to put your hand up to get water over to you and whatever. And then Cassie told me, she goes, oh no, she was on the phone with somebody, one of their friends or somebody they knew was wanting to come in and get to her, find her and get to her spot. And they're going like, there's no room. We are already all squished.
I was waiting for security to come up and tell us to take 3 steps back like they did
I
at
was too.
Extonary. I was like, this would be the perfect time. There's no way everyone at Barricade is not uncomfortably squished.
Yeah.
There's 0 chance.
Especially because when we moved up again, there was one lady that ended up leaving, and everybody took like a foot, forward again.
3 rows, 3 rows
and I'm like,
people.
Oh my Lord, are you kidding? I'm like, why are we moving? In fact, even before the concert started, people moved forward. And there again, I'm like, why are people moving? Because people from the side of me were squishing in. Because then when I was getting bumped and squished, and I'm like, what the heck? And people were I'm like, they're going to tell us to move back. I had seen security on the other side or tell people to move back. And so I was waiting for them to do that before they started this concert. And they didn't. And I was okay. And then, like I said, halfway through the set that we were there, again, one lady left and people like moved up a foot. And I'm like, okay, well, then I'm going to move, because otherwise people, again, from the side are going to come squishing in and get in front of me. And whatever. And so it's like, okay, well, I expected those people to end up moving back again, and they didn't. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll take a foot forward. But yeah, with the other girl with the fan, because there too, I was just kind of like, okay, you're not having that up during the concert, are you? Like, you're gonna put that down. Which she did. She ended up putting it down, but yeah. It's been a long time. Like, I've been to Summerfest a couple times, and again, because that is though a festival grounds by us, it is a musical festival grounds. At the stages, they even have cement benches that so there is sitting room and all that. Not that during concerts people aren't standing like on them, or at least they're standing. Because at least if you're standing, you're not even on them. There's room again in between, so you have the wind flow, and then you can sit before the concert even starts, so you're not standing that whole time, even if you are in the sun. And then the main amphitheater is all sitting. It's all ticketed that you have your own seat. Now there is some grass, usually the free seating for that and all that, but so again, lots of people. So you're people watching. So lots of people watching. It was interesting. Some outfits, I'm like, really? Security let these people in through the door? And you got, I didn't say hee hee. Today, as the people were all leaving the one concert, yes, there was a gentleman. A young guy, had to be in his 20s, looked like, wearing a thong.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a nice blue sparkly thong, ass cheeks hanging out with little
little sparkles, little threads that were what were they called?
Tassels?
But little tassels type, yeah.
Yeah, there were
Just a
tassels
little,
on the
but I
belt.
mean,
Well, yeah, so it was more like a black thong, and then he had like a blue bedazzled belt, kind of, with the sparkly tassels, and then there was also like a neck piece.
Oh.
Well, more just like a shoulder piece.
No surprise, I didn't notice the neck piece, man.
Granted,
Granted, we were sitting on the grassy area. He was walking along the sidewalk a good, again, 20, 30 feet ahead of me, but you're seeing bare butt cheeks walking. It's just kind of like, and again, just a little thong hanging on the front part too. And I'm like, it was blue and sparkly. It was cute, and all the little sparkles, you know, the little tassels hanging on his butt cheeks. And like, but again, really, I don't know. It's like, that's fine. It's cutesy. I mean, but when you're leaving the house, is that what you're thinking? You're thinking, this is the best time. Look, you know, I'm going to go to a music festival. This is what I want to wear, and this is what I want people to see me in. And some of the outfits, like I said, a lot of them were cute. A lot of them people wore, I'm like, yeah, they were cutesy, but there were a lot of butt cheeks hanging out, a lot of short shorts, and all that. So I'm like, I guess again, if people are they're feeling good. That's what they want. That's what they're choosing to wear and be out in and feeling cute. So it was just interesting to watch and fun. But it was, yeah, it's a lot of cute stuff. A lot of different outfits. People watching. But anyways, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been to Summerfest. Cassie's never been to Summerfest, so this is kind of again her experience. Was that at Summerfest though?
It wasn't at Summerfest, but it was at the Summerfest ground.
Oh. But was that at the amphitheater though? You had tickets.
It was at the amphitheater.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So again, like I said, it's been a long time. I'm glad I could keep up. That was my thing. That, you know, I found I have more walking stamina than Cassie, but she's got more. She's more limber than I am as far as sitting on the ground and all that. I'm like, oh man, get on the ground, and then for me to stand up, I'm like, okay, well, give me like a full 60 seconds here for me to maneuver myself around and get on my knees or you know, scooch.
To push you up.
I needed just a little bit further up off the ground to be okay. Let me just push off your knee and get up. But I could do it. I could still do it. So yay me. Yeah, but again, that I was just happy. Like I said, I didn't hold her back. I still had fun too. So this was more all about her. I was making sure that she was happy and doing what she wanted to do. And yeah, if we wanted to go, if we wanted to eat, if we wanted to drink, if we wanted, you know, go stand from the fan, and all that. So it was a good time. So on that note, I'm going to end it up. Let me know if you guys have ever been to music festivals. What did you go see? What was your favorite? I hope you had fun doing all that. And you guys keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.